Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's weekly recap is for Monday, February 19th through Friday, February 23rd. So from the 19th to the 23rd. Young and the Restless, y'all was moving way too slow. Okay, way too slow. I'm just going to hit some of the highlights, okay? We have Kyle is making decisions for Diane, and Diane is protesting. See, there's some trouble a brewing. Trouble a brewing. Now, remember, he was so worried about Billy trying to sabotage his mother. And oh, watch, Kyle's going to sabotage her himself. That's what he's going to do. Tucker talks to Audra, and he tells Audra he wants to take her to Paris. Okay. They're just going to get a nice couples getaway, plus check out some companies he wants to swoop up for Glissade and, just work on growing that company. Now, listen, and this is Audra's point. When are we going? Because there's nothing holding us here. Nothing. There's no reason they weren't on a plane yesterday. But let's face it, Tucker's him hawing around. He's telling Audra what she wants to hear, because he doesn't want to quite leave the town that Ashley's at right now. So now we have Seth, through the urging of Jordan, calls Nikki, asking for help, and Nikki says, I can't, um, I can't help you, Seth. I can't be your sponsor. I know, but if I could just talk to you and just apologize to you, it would just help me. So she agrees they could meet. First, they were going to meet to get coffee at Crimson, but Victor talked her into have him come over to the ranch, right? So she does, and Jordan's like, ooh, kind of like almost rubbing her mitts that Seth was gonna get in there to see Nikki. And Ashley, but what I was wanted to say about the whole Seth situation. See, Victor is allowing all these things, allowing her to meet Seth, but yet if it were Jack, he would say, how dare you jeopardize my wife? Why would you let her see a man that was her sponsor and can't keep sober himself? I mean, see, but if Victor is doing it, it's okay, right? It's okay. So Ashley, and he actually lets Seth come, and Seth meets with her alone. But of course, the compound has guards, but we all know how the Newman guards are. They don't protect nobody. I'm surprised Jordan somehow wasn't hiding in Seth's trunk and got out of the trunk so she could be on the ranch. But see, that's going to come next. Ashley sneaks into Tucker's room. And now, mind you, let's talk about Ashley. The beginning of the show, I think Ashley has some kind of split personality disorder. I sincerely do. She walks in the house hearing voices. She's scared. Oh, get out of my ear. She's going crazy. Ooh. And she ends up getting out, and the driver's taking her for a drive. And she's just looking out the window. And then all of a sudden, she's like, of course, she replays again what happens in Paris. This is the weakest, stupidest storyline on the planet. So the next thing we know, Ashley's got her regular Ashley face on. I don't know how she got her hair combed, because when she wasn't in that car, it wasn't down like that. Makeup taboo. She's just all in. Sitting there, legs crossed, when Tucker walks in and said, what are you doing in my room? Why would you break in here? Because I needed to talk to you. And he goes, Ashley, I am not doing this with you again. I just came to tell you, Tucker, you were right. And he goes, wait, I was right. I was right about what? You were right about everything. The fight wasn't the way you said. You didn't bribe the staff. I was wrong for accusing you of that. I was right. You were wrong. You were right about me having the, detachment issues And so I just wanted you to know that. And she's just being Miss Coy Ashley. And he goes, this is some kind of setup, isn't it? Why would you say it's a setup? She goes, no, Ashley, just earlier today, you were definitely accusing, definitely in some kind of mental state. That he goes, and for this 180, no, something is not right at all. And she goes, no, like I said, I got into a minor fender bender on the way home earlier, a minor car accident. And he goes, are you all right? She goes, yes, I'm fine. But it gave me clarity, just clarity washed over me. And that's when I came to the realization, you know what, you are right. And I have been treating you so unfairly. So we can happily coexist. And she's smiling, you know. We can kind of start over as sorts, you know. And he goes, oh, really? She goes, yeah, there's no reason for the animosity. And remember what I said about trying to come between you and Devon and oh no, none of that. Okay. She didn't wink, but she pretty much did everything but it. And the way she was just, moving her body, I said, Ashley is setting him up. And she's setting him up so that he will. She's going to try to push him to the brink of this time getting violent. She's going to have it filmed. She's going to set him up royally. That's Ashley's plan, right? But she still can't see how irrational that plan is. Instead of truly accepting the fact that he's not gaslighting you, I mean, he may or may not be, who knows, who cares? But nobody can gaslight you unless unless they have control over you. Tucker hasn't gone to the media, put some kind of gaslight article out about Ashley, not the way they did him, right? Tucker hasn't smeared her name to everybody, but oh, he's gaslighting her. She and her family have been the one gaslighting him. So she's just like, so anyway, I'll see you later. And she walks out the room and she goes downstairs and she sees Audra still, sitting at the table because when she walked in, before she broke into Tucker's room, she saw Audra there, right? She saw Audra and Tucker sitting there drinking and having a good time. And so she comes to Audra and she sits down and Audra looks up at her like, oh my God, not you. And she goes, I just want you to know whatever you think you have with Tucker, it won't last. And Audra's sipping on her martini like, you don't say. She goes, I say. She says, you don't know Tucker like I know Tucker. And Audra's just looking at her. She says, you sound like a jealous ex. And Ashley says, little girl, you are out of your league. And Audra just looks at her and says, no, you're the one that can't accept you are no longer with Tucker. And so Ashley says, well, I'm just telling you fair warning that it's not going to last. It's not going to, and Tucker and I have a longer history. And Audra looks at her like, what are you talking about? So Ashley takes her purse and gets her coat, and Tucker's at the bottom of the stairs at this point. So Tucker's looking like, what on earth is going on? And as Ashley walks by, she smiles at him and squeezes his arm as she walks by. And it kind of creeped in my, he kind of cringed, really. That was an interesting scene. He's like, oh, hey, what is happening, right? But deep down, he's thinking, can I trust her? Is my Ashley really back? See, that's Tucker's weakness, and Ashley knows that, and she's using it. But the thing is, Ashley's too mentally unstable to be playing these games. So then, as the week is progressing, because I'm dealing with Ashley's story, and then I'm going to go to some others. Tracy talks to Ashley and says, oh, here you are. Where'd you go? Oh, I just came from seeing Tucker. And she looks, she goes, Ashley, why would you be seeing Tucker? Oh, I wanted to apologize to him and tell him he was right and I was wrong. And Tracy says, okay, wait, what? You were right. It was all in my head. It didn't happen the way I said it would happen. I felt Tucker had a right to know. So I went and I told him. She says, okay, and what did Tucker say? And Ashley says, he's a little skeptical, but, you know, I told him, what reason would he have of gaslighting me? I just don't like the way I treated him, so I felt he should know. I'm over it now. I just have this clarity, my friend that I stayed in Paris to talk to, well, he's a psychologist. And my friend, the one in Paris, he told me blah, blah, blah. And the things that he said just made it make such sense to me. God, he said a lot of what you said, Tracy, but just hearing it from his point of view. And so Tracy says, I didn't know you had a friend in Paris that's a psychologist. Oh, yes, yes. And that's who I was talking to. So that's why, it just really started sinking in what my friend that's in Paris said to me, just the whole way she was talking to everybody. It's like, girl, you have lost your mind. Because if you have to say my friend in Paris one more time, right? So Tracy is looking at her like something is not right. I don't care what's coming out of your mouth, something's not right. And so she was trying to ask Ashley questions, and Ashley's like, oh, I'm just, thank you so much for being here for me, you and the whole family. I mean, it's just this support that's just got me to this, oh, I'm so free and enlightened now. You know what? I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to rest up a bit. But thanks again, Trace. And Tracy is like, oh, but Ash, because when Ashley stood up, Tracy stood up. And Tracy's still trying to ask her more questions, right? And Ashley's trying to get out of there because Ashley is trying to snow her. The same act she was putting on with Tucker, she's trying to put on with Tracy, and Tracy was kind of snoofing it out. So that's where we left it with Ashley. And then Tracy calls Jack or texts Jack and says, Ashley's home, but Jack, we have to talk. We have to talk. She knows something is not right. Let's see. Let me advance to the Claire storyline. Of course, they're showing this little girl that Claire likes to read books to, that the nurses bring the little girl. They were playing cards this last time and just having a good old time. And Claire's making such progress. And Cole and Victoria come to see her, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Victor comes to see her when Victoria and Cole are gone. Victor had already called Michael Baldwin in and told Michael that he wants Michael to get Claire, Victor's going to pull some strings, and he wants Michael to get Claire released, and he wants to get her released into Victoria's custody. He says, and if my daughter doesn't go along with that, we'll think of something else. And Michael's saying, but listen, isn't this too soon? Claire is making progress. What you're proposing could undo everything. And Victor's like, no, no, it won't. She's already agreed to help. And in order for her to help, I need Jordan to have more access to her, right? And that's the way. I'm going to protect my family. And, she's agreed she can handle it. And, he has no concern for Claire whatsoever. So he finally got Michael thinking around on his side. And when he goes to see Claire, he manipulates Claire, telling Claire how happy, oh, you know, I'm so happy to have another granddaughter. Oh, warms my heart. And Claire's like, wanting to be accepted. Really? And he goes, yes. And so he was saying how, listen, what do you think about if I get you released and, uh, into Victoria's care? You could still have your therapy, we'll get you the best therapy. But, bottom line, we need to get your aunt off the streets for everybody's safety. And you could play an important part in it. So, of course, he goes, look, she goes, I need to think about it. He goes, of course. He says, and once you've made up your mind, and he pulls out Michael Baldwin's card, give Michael Baldwin a call. And she goes, okay. So we have now Danny is bummed out because Phyllis, the whole high school rivalry thing is happening. Phyllis comes to bring him I apologize gift. And he goes, okay, thank you. And he didn't want to let her in. He goes, Phyllis, I already told you I need space. Oh, no, no, no. I know you do. I know you do. And I'm here to, I'm just bringing a gift. And he goes, thank you, but I'm busy. She walks right past him into the place. And he looks like, oh my God. And oh, Phyllis is Danny. It's Christine that starts it. It's this, and you and I know. And they're kind of, she's getting closer to him. And he said, Phyllis, there is no you and I. You feel this. I know you do. And he is falling right back into it until there's a knock on the door. See, Phyllis would have had him in the sack another 15 minutes. Not even in the sack, she'd have had him on the couch. Because that's Phyllis. Lucy could have come home. Daniel could have come home, but Phyllis don't care, right? So she goes, don't answer that. And the knock happens again, and Danny's like, no, no, I'm gonna answer it. And it's Christine. And he goes, Cricket, didn't I say I need space? I know, but I don't like the way we left the conversation. And as she's trying to barge her way in, she sees Phyllis. Oh, of course you would be here, Phyllis, where you're not wanted. Now, Danny just told Christine he didn't want her there. Just like he told Phyllis he didn't want her there. Let me see my dog's at that little pocket door. Hold on, y'all. So Christine and Phyllis start bickering, bickering, bickering. Oh, they're arguing so much, and Danny just looks. And he's like, this is why I said we need, and they didn't even hear him talking. He packed up his stuff, walked out the door. They're still arguing, did not even know that they left. So he goes to the GCAC and he's sitting at the bar, and Lauren comes in. And Lauren says, what's going on with you, Danny? And he tells Lauren what he walked out on, right? And he says, Phyllis keeps insinuating that we have something when we don't have anything going on. She's ruining things between me and Chris. And then Chris comes over and she's arguing. He goes, it's just a vicious cycle. And so Lauren, being Lauren, she's listening and she's like, Danny, are you sure? There's nothing between you and Phyllis? Because I kind of think you are giving off vibes that there is something, which is the only reason that Phyllis is able to do whatever she's doing. She goes, on some level, you have feelings for Phyllis. And he's looking like, she goes, he goes, but no, it's Chris that I want. She goes, is it really? Then there wouldn't be a real problem. Lauren hit the head, the nail right on the head. She really, really did, right? It's time for Danny to go on tour. We already know it because he told Lauren, he said, my tour can't come soon enough. I'm ready to get back on the road now. So Danny, the whole stint of Danny will be gone. And you know what? What a wasted time. The whole storyline that they tried to make this stupid triangle was the biggest waste of time on this planet. So I'll be happy when Danny is gone. I really, really will. So now we have Billy asking Devon, talking to Devon more about the name change. And he tells Devon that they need to be able to work together. And Devon is like, we do work together. What are you talking about? He goes, no, Devon, you barely want to listen to my ideas. Barely. And Devon says, no, that's not true. If they have merit, I'm listening to him. He goes, he goes, Billy, you know what? You're interim CEO until Lily comes back. He says, so I don't know why you want to make a bunch of changes when this is not your position. And Billy says, well, it's like this, Devon. I'm wholeheartedly in this position. And I'm here to run it as if this were my position. And some changes do need to be made. And I see them. And he goes, so what do you think is going to happen when Lily comes back? Where are you going to be then? He goes, I don't know yet. My mother hasn't decided that. But one thing's for sure, I'm vested in this company. And for us to succeed, we need to get together. Says Devon, you're so used to running everything autonomously. No, you don't make decisions with anybody else. Then he brought up the issues that him and Lily had, and they almost took it to court and everything else. And Devon looked at him and said, yeah, and the whole while, instead of staying here with a presence, with an Abbott presence, you left. And you left my sister high and dry, didn't you, Billy? But that's what you do. And Billy looked, yeah, Billy. And he goes, but look, the past is the past. We need to work together. And you need to know, I am representing my mother's 50% interest. And I'm going to do that. And see, and I don't know if Jill has 50 or 51%. I don't know. Maybe 51, because she has a little bit bigger stake, I think. But I kind of think it might be 50. Devon has whatever he has. And now remember, it used to be Victor had a chunk, which is now Mamie's chunk. So I don't know that Jill has 51%. I don't know that, but she might. She might have a slither of a percent more. So anyway, we deal with Adam talking to Sally upset, that Adam went to Victor with the proposal and Chloe being Chloe. And then Sally ends up ultimately not too opposed to the idea. And when she and Adam finally talk on Friday, she says, I just don't like the fact that you decided to go and put this into effect without even talking to me. And it's my company, Adam. And he says, I know, and I apologize, but I just wanted to see if it could even fly before I got your hopes up. And she says, and I can understand and appreciate that too. But next time, I'm in the loop. And he goes, no, absolutely. And then he's talking about Connor, because Dal, the psychiatrist or colleges at the school, is saying they want to send him to testing for OCD, because he's obsessively washing his hands and some of the things he's doing, and he's not sleeping. And, he needs help. See, once again, there's no reason they are not there. There's no reason they're not there with their son. I don't understand it. So Nick, Sally's comforting Adam. Meanwhile, Nick is talking to Victor about the proposal of taking Sally's company under the Newman umbrella. And Victor says, how would you feel about that? Do you think it's even worth it? And he goes, Dad, my, I would not have even put my money into this if I did not believe in Sally and I didn't think it was worth it. He says, so yes, I do. And he goes, but you would be working with her and your brother. How would you be able to handle that? And he goes, Dad, look, everybody knows Adam and Sally are the ones that belong together, period. Those two were going to find their way back to each other no matter what. So I'm fine with it. I am completely fine with that. So Victor actually is thinking about it now. Victor's thinking about maybe, who knows, right? So Nikki convinces Lauren to get her out the house, and they go have coffee at the coffee shop. And Nikki was so happy because she felt like she was sprung from prison, right? And Lauren was scared and nervous because Victor didn't want her to do it, but okay. And of course, soon as they get home, Victor is like, he's there. My baby, where are you coming from? Lauren took me to get a cup of coffee. I convinced her to. And she goes, even though it's against my wishes, she goes, I felt like a prisoner in my own home. I was going to go get some coffee. And Lauren said, and Victor, yes, we did. We had security detail. We were completely safe, and we came right back home. And what else was Victor going to say? Nothing. Because Nikki told Lauren, don't worry about Victor. I will take care of Victor. you know. So anyway, Nikki is wanting to know what Lauren leaves. Nikki wants to know what Victor's plan is to trap Jordan, and he's saying he's, going to use Claire. And she goes, and how's Victoria feel about that? He goes, Claire is agreeing. And we know the best way to Jordan is through Claire. So anyway, Nikki's like, I don't feel good about it. I'm going to lure her myself. And he goes, no, I'm not going to have you in harm's way. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Right. So they really don't settle anything. So Victor's already putting his plan in motion. Right. Because of course it shows Claire making up her mind and asking one of the nurses, the aides there, for a phone because she needs to call her attorney. So Claire's about to be released. And then they keep going back and forth with Jordan and Seth and her mentally manipulating him as she's pushing drinks in his face. Then it ends up, she said no, that Vicky just left her, just, stopped even talking to her. And she needs, to clear the air with Nikki. That was her friend. And it's my turn. You were able to mend fences. I need to mend fences. And Seth is just so stupid. Young and the Restless. Only on the Young and the Restless. I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. So now Chelsea is talking to Billy about Connor. And she is so upset about Connor. See, we wasn't so upset that we were going to see my kid. Telling Adam he overreacting, don't mess things up. No, you ain't going, and all of that. And she goes, I just got off the phone with him early. If you would have heard him. Oh no, you know what? I know they don't want us to go, but I have got to go see my son. I have got to lay eyes on him. Really, Chelsea, really? Isn't that what Adam wanted to do? And everybody told him, oh, that was the wrong thing. He's overreacting. He being Adam, he gonna mess everything up. But now you just decide That's the very thing you're going to do. And Billy goes, well, we'll go this weekend. And I'm thinking, well, what day is this? Is this Tuesday? And you're going to wait till this weekend? Because if her son is sounding as bad as she said he was sounding, why would you wait? Chelsea is his mother. Billy says, I'm going to take you. So she goes, no, I don't want to take you away from work. And I'm thinking, you ain't taking him away from work. That's why he said we'll go on the weekend because work comes first. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. So he goes, no, I'm going to take you. He goes, you're going to go there to look after Connor, and I'm going to look after you. And so she goes, oh, what would I do without you? And I said, now, does anybody see anything wrong with that? Billy is not the one that should be going. Not at all. Chelsea should pick up the phone and she should say, I'm getting ready to call Adam because he was right. We need to go and we need to be there for Connor. That's the right thing for Chelsea to do. Why she's letting Adam? How would that even seem? I mean, Billy, how would that even seem to Adam? Wait a minute. I've been wanting to go for a couple weeks now, or at least a week, but in soap opera land it's been 2. But I'm the bad guy. Now, because he told Chelsea, you're making all the decisions. That's what Adam told her. Now, when you decide to go, you taking your boyfriend? And I wasn't even included in that decision because Connor needs his mother and his father, not his mother and her boyfriend. That's like Adam saying, I'm going to take Sally with me. No, it's Chelsea and Adam that needs to go. Yet something else I was just shaking my head at. So of course Victoria goes to see Victor because Michael Baldwin had a meeting with her and Cole and told her what Victor's already putting in motion. And she says, I was adamant with my father not to do that. Adamant. Why is he? So he's going behind my back. And she's so mad. So she goes to Victor and he goes, I will do whatever I have to do to protect my family. She goes, Claire is your family. This could do irreparable damage to her. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect Claire. She will be in no danger at all. Really? Then if that's the case, Nikki wouldn't be in no danger at all, right? You know what? It was just unbelievable to me. And then let's get back to Audra. Tucker, when remember I said Ashley touched his arm and Audra saw it and she asked Tucker, what's going on with that? And he goes, I don't know what's going on with her. And so she goes, so before right now, when was the last time you seen Ashley? Because last I knew she was upset. He goes, I haven't seen her. She was just up in his room. Why he didn't say, that fool broke into my room? We really need to get out of here and go to Paris. No, see, Tucker's intrigued. Tucker's intrigued. But Nate, while Tucker went upstairs, Nate was talking to Audra the same broken record. You could do better than this. Why are you with him? Why this, that, and the other? And it's going to end badly for you. And it just sounded like an old, broken, jealous record. He really does. And I'm just like, you know what? You don't even understand the dynamics at all. So I know how to protect myself. You don't need to worry about me. And Nate says, you know what, Audra? You are right. This is your life. And you can protect yourself. And I don't even need to waste any more time with you. So he's walking out and Tucker's just looking at him. And he just looks, Nate, he goes, Nate just looks at Tucker like, and just walks right on by, right? So that's where that's at. And that was it for the whole wrap up of the week. I can't think of nothing else that happened that was worth any merit. And this is, we're talking the whole week. This was it. So let's go to comment corner. Comment corner. We do have a couple comments from comment corner. Okay, we have user in you says, she calls me pretty lady. When will Claire meet her brother and sister? Well, Claire actually has two brothers. Let's not forget, Reed. Yet another child Victoria didn't raise. Reed, and then Johnny and Katie. And then I'm sick of Claire and Nikki with the nut on the loose. Victor security is a joke. How many fires can those folks take? I don't know. LaShunta says Devon is making me mad. Jill has 51%. Why not have the name added? Devon asking Nate is ridiculous. Lily works for Jill, so it shouldn't matter. And here's the deal. Lily's gonna side with whatever Jill wants. Even though remember last time she said she would never just arbitrarily decide with Jill, on something with Jill without her and Devon having a meetings of the mind. But ultimately, Jill could say, look, girl, this is happening while you taking care of your daughter. Don't you even worry about it. Matter of fact, take a couple more months. And when you get back, my son will be sitting in your desk, in your seat, right? What Jill's going to do, I already know. She's going to make them co-CEOs. She's going to make Billy and Lily co-CEOs, which is what she should have done in the first place, instead of making Billy her COO. Devon, let me see that it doesn't matter. For Devon to say he won't approve it. He just brought Abby on the board and he didn't ask anybody. No, he did. They even had a conversation. Jill signed off on Abby being on the board. Look, realistically, Abby being on the board, she shouldn't even really be setting foot in the building until it's a board meeting. Abby having a board seat really is nothing, but they're gonna make her have an office watch, and it's nothing. And then LaShawn says, I like Billy shining. I see bumps ahead. Kimberly says the writers are lacking in bringing real drama. Claire says, I'm tired of Young and the Restless. Ashley's having a nervous breakdown. It's gotten old. Nikki being a drunk has gotten old. I've stepped away from the show because they drag these storylines on forever. New writers are needed. I attempted to watch Friday's episode, but couldn't. So I'm watching the daily recaps. Well, thank you, Claire. Great job, daily recap lady. Says, I remember when Paris was sent to a boot camp school because of her behavior as was abused by staff. All these rich kids are being battered and their parents listen to untrained counselors. Now, who's Paris? I missed that. When I read your comment, I'm racking my brain thinking, who on earth is Paris? I don't know. So I am right who Paris is in your next comment. And I am also says Billy is crazy and name change is an obvious power play. I am says the Young and the Restless needs new writers. It's totally boring. It's really ridiculously boring, including the Jordan storyline. I figured Olive and Jordan, you mean Claire? Claire and Jordan were eventually going to work together. Brenda says, Miss Lady, I am tired of it too. I agree with you. You are right. I might take a break from the show. Brenda says, did her mother have the same issue? I don't think they want help. Tucker is going to take advantage of it. Oh, you mean, did Dina have the same issue? I don't think Dina had mental health issues. Dina just had dementia. Remember, Ashley's been suffering from some mental health issues for a long time. Da, da, da. Cheryl says Ashley is losing her mind. So those are the comments from Comment Corner. Comment Corner. I'll be back next week because trust me, it'll be a week. Not to mention that I'm so super, oh my goodness, busy in my professional life. Um, Young and the Restless, it doesn't, it needs more. I don't know why this, but it's always been this way. They drag and drag and drag a storyline out. And look, I only have time for condense, condense, condense nowadays. Boom, boom, boom. So, anyway, everybody, thank you for listening to this weekly recap of The Young and the Restless. And I will be back next week.